how to talk about personal care needs with others. Whether you've had an injury, an illness, or like me, you're disabled, there may come a time when you need to talk to someone or someone's about personal care needs. Nobody likes to ask for help, but at times we will need it. So I've learned in the past, say, 15 years, since I've been needing actual personal care support, to communicate in a way that what I call shame-free communication. And to do that, there's a few steps that I follow. I always tend to break things down so that I can, kind of look at them and figure them out, really. So the first thing I would suggest when you're talking with someone about your personal care needs is you need to be really clear. You need to be very clear on what it is you need and how you want it to be done. So, for example, I need help, putting my socks on. So my partner helps me with that. But in negotiating how I want that done, I make it clear I like to have the left foot on first. That's just a personal preference. And then the second thing is I like the sock to be stretched wide open and kind of guided over my foot, not just pulled up. And the reason for that is because my nerve endings are very, sensitive and hyper, and that will cause me discomfort. So I make it really clear on what it is I need and how I want it to be done. And once someone has that information, then, it's really kind of good to think about a couple of other things. And I think, check your tone. How are you communicating to someone in letting them know what it is you want done? Now, if you've ever worked in the hospitality industry, then you'll know what I mean about demanding people. And that tends to really kind of put people off for a number of reasons. But if you want someone to help you, then, that old proverb about, getting more honey, getting more flies with honey instead of vinegar can go a long way. So I tend to, check my tone and be sure that I'm communicating what it is I need. And to get really clear on what it is you need done, sometimes it's good to map it out. Now, I'm not suggesting to map it out like a hiking journey or anything like that, but sometimes it's important to break down all the steps that to you, obviously, that might seem obvious, but when you're relaying it to someone else, breaking it all down will just make everything else go smoother. So that's what I would suggest, to get really clear and to be mindful of your tone. And then check in with someone that you're working with and, to basically be sure that you've been heard. So, for example, I was at visiting at a neighbor's home, and she had her lawn chairs were very low. So I found myself sitting in a lawn chair. So getting out was a real problem. So I knew I needed to have someone help me. So I assessed and thought, well, she's pretty stable, so I thought she could handle it. So I said to her, I'm going to need your help. And I was very clear on how I wanted her to hold my hand and my arm for support, and that I would need to really be pushing down on her and prepared her that I'm going to be bearing a lot of weight. Can you handle it? And so I checked in with her and just said, okay, are you ready? Really letting her know that I was going to really need her help. So once I was sure that she was, ready for it, and she had heard me on how much help I really needed, then it worked out okay. Now, the other thing that I do is sometimes you need to compromise. So when you're asking for someone for some help, you have to remember that they have a life too. and they might be in a bad mood. You kind of really need to work together. So let's go back to the idea of my socks. My partner and I, it's part of our daily routine. So when I'm getting dressed and I'm ready for her to assist with my sock care, then I'll send her a message by FaceTime and let it ring twice, and that's our little code. So we've worked that out. So that's how we've kind of, arranged that. And, she doesn't come instantly, but she does come fairly quickly. So it's part of our routine. But it's, part of the negotiation. So you have to remember that it's up to you to manage what it is you need. So you're the one that needs to really clearly express to people how you want to have it be assisted, really. And then you need to compromise and just kind of build it into your new way of doing things. Because it wasn't always that I needed that level of help. And it was a big adjustment. I will admit it was a big adjustment when I had to actually help someone attend to my, daily dressing care. But, once you kind of get through it and you decide, okay, you can accept this, then you can kind of just build it into your life. It just becomes part of the new normal. So it's really important to not feel ashamed and to communicate in a way that's shame-free, because you have every right to get the assistance that you need, how you want it done. So just always practice really clear communication, check your tone, confirm that you've been heard, and be willing to compromise at times when you have to. Hope that's been helpful. If you know of anyone with a disability or in a situation where they're dealing with these kind of issues, maybe share this video with them. And if you like the video, that would be great. And if you don't, that's okay too. And please remember to subscribe, because your subscription helps YouTube to know that they should share it around a little bit. So until next time, be gentle with yourself and those around you. Bye for now.